Seems like all the ass was a piece of shit. But now, with this, I can do it. Sorry for background noise, by the way. Background noise is annoying. What would you say? At least now they can make strangers. Why is normal OBS so bad at that? Oh, thankfully, Streamlabs is actually good. Why didn't I use it sooner? Honestly, I knew it was good, so I don't know why I didn't. Oh, wait. Tomorrow I'll probably be able to when I fully start streaming stuff. Oh gosh. The lag is nuts. Anyway. Now this is working. I should be able to start streaming like a normal person. Yeah. Shall we start streaming? Good. Because I want to make sure Also, for people who do know me, no, I'm not going to be streaming Friday Night Funkin'. For the most part. Because of the fact that honestly, I just don't want to. That being said, well, streams kind of different. But maybe I might stream something like the show progress of the mod or something that I'm working on. But like, honestly, I haven't watched the show since I can't really do all the crazy fancy stuff like programming or actually drawing. Gotta check what would be the best settings for streaming. This is working now. The only issue now is being able to chat. Let's see.
I don't know. Oh. Override it! I'm not creating any misunderstandings. I don't know what you mean. I'm not creating any misunderstandings. What do you mean? I don't disagree, Finchie. I'm sure you'd be a lovely mother. Hey, Racky, look. For now. Where's my rock?
I wonder what they used all these machines for.
Fight him! Right in the patas patas.
Streaming's hard. Well, it seems Streamlabs is taking 10 years for it to get certain things done. So while we wait for that, you guys want to something? What did I do? Anyway, one thing I need to figure out is a system to keep this thing from dying. Because, well, it can't die by normal means. If someone decides that they want to cheat and then use/kill on all entities, that becomes a problem because it also kills NPCs. So we need something to make it check for that. I can't stop killing it. What I can do is basically make it where if it dies, it will respawn a new one. But here's the other problem that I have with that. That problem being that, well, it's possible to spawn a new one. It's not entirely easy to just detect if an entity does not exist. The thing is, I can only detect if it does exist. So, what I need to do is, first thing my current thoughts is to have a scoreboard that's constantly ticking down, and it gets reset every time it successfully tests for the settings handled. And then, if it ever gets killed, nothing will stop the counter from going down, and it will detect that something's wrong and fix it. That's a pretty weird way of handling it, don't you think? One of my other ideas was to have it constantly on the pressure plate. And if the pressure plate has ever not been pressed, it will reset. Because that is cool. And there's another problem with that as well. Because, well, again, you can't kill this thing. Actually, you can't push it either. Good. So that could be a lot of things. Again, it would kind of be a lot of problem as well, since So I want to make it work like an interface. So, like, for me, if I want to test certain settings, I can just go into a menu using it, which I have a way of doing that. But it's a bit big with how much stuff I have to figure out to make sure it works properly. And on Bedrock Edition, you can't just make super fancy commands. So you have to work with different micro commands, I guess you could say. Which I guess kind of reminds me of what I used to play, Little Big Planet. Whenever I wanted to create a system for anything, I required many different tools to make that work out. And with this, I guess it's kind of the same thing. Now, you might be wondering what all these things do anyway, because there's a lot of them already. Well, some of them is for detecting bombs, some of them are for giving them abilities. Because this is supposed to be a special horror thing, right? I totally was already. So basically, I want to make a surreal experience. So, you've probably heard of Era 422 or something similar, where basically it's just another version of Minecraft where you play it like a normal Minecraft, but of course, during those times, weird things happen. Either with an entity killing you, or your game crashing, or fucking cactuses flying in the sky for no goddamn reason. But, basically, I want to do something similar to that. Not to the same extent as that with those random characters. But I want to kind of style it similar to actual horror games. So, like, well, yes, it will have the experience of you're in a totally normal Minecraft world or game and stuff of weirdness happens. I kind of want some actual horror game elements to appear in it, and not just haha jump scare stuff. While I do plan to have some jump scares and stuff, that's really it. But there's a reason I'm streaming this. It's not just so I can show off what I know how to do, but I also want to find out what scares you, and then want some help from the community. A lot of people don't really know me, but hopefully I'll be able to find the right people. But of course, a lot of that stuff probably won't happen in this stream since this stream came late, because I was busy figuring out how to make this work. But, you know, a lot of stuff. Shit, I don't even know if this is actually being a hopefully this is making enough. It isn't. Fuck me. Anyway, actually, I'm gonna check. If I call you YouTube, hopefully I can hear myself. I think I can't. But let's hope that I wasn't saying all this for nothing. Okay, let's hope for the best. And okay, I can definitely tell that I can be heard. Though sadly, all the background noises are not. I'll be able to probably fix that next stream, kind of. Because my mic is very crappy. But hopefully I can make everything less loud next time. But until then, yeah. So, what I plan to do is make a funny horror experience. But I want to find out what scares all of you and make an epic experience with you. Though, of course, I don't expect that many people to find this, for obvious reasons. But hopefully, I can find just the right amount of people to make this work. Either way, if anyone sees all of this, what scares you? Oh, no. Oh god. Is that Z11 Gaming? Why are you here? No. Hello, cat. Anyway, my entire PC is having a stroke. Because that's what it wants to do. I have no idea what the latency is on this stream. Hopefully it's not too bad. And hopefully I can find a way to have the chat of the damn thing. I'm still learning this shit. Why do I feel like murder is the best option right now? Hello, Z11. I see that you are existing within my vicinity. That is very, very scary. I mean, Steve wants to not be a bitch. Anyway, I found out my problem with live streaming, because for some reason, normal OBS does not know how to function properly. It just stays frozen on the first ever frame that gets shown, and that's it. So that's fun. Anyway, I got things semi-working now. Now I just need to figure out everything else. Good lord. Anyway, currently, the house has been frozen on one thing for a while now. I know everything else is working, but like, I was trying to log into stuff so I could get widgets and other bullshit so that I can actually use it more effectively. But, of course, it's taking 10 years to do that, because my PC is crap. And, the funny thing is, I'm streaming both on Twitch and on YouTube. For some reason. I'm a crazy person. But yeah. Fun stuff. I now need to figure out what to do. I had an idea for a certain thing. Actually, Z11. Here's a question for you. Since you exist for no reason. I'm working on basically an actual, like, horror game thing. So, like, I have a bunch of mobs that do weird things to, like, add to the meta part of this. But I want something that appears seemingly like an actual, like, paranormal being in the game. But the thing is, since I don't have the skill or resources to actually create something like that using a behavior pack, I plan to use a mob that is probably invisible, which would emit special smoke of some sort, and I would give abilities using commands and stuff, obviously. That's the whole point of these. But what I'm wondering is what mob should it be that I use for this? I obviously can't use a creeper for this, unless I want it to just randomly explode and stop existing. But, I need a good mob that would work for that idea. And I'm not sure just a normal zombie would work. I don't know. What do you think would work? I need a good idea. If you're even still alive, that is. I'm gonna assume he's not alive. Hey, I'll think about it more later. Let's see. A fun thing I did to this place to make it protected at all times, so that nothing could destroy anything. Not that you can really destroy Bedrock or command blocks. I added extra security to make make sure that nothing goes wrong. Specifically, if anything, mobs, comes near that isn't approved, that is like me. They just get floated away. Fun, right? Of course. I almost accidentally literally destroyed this thing. Because I almost forgot to add the NPC exclusion. You know. Anyway. I have these here, just in case. I also want to use them, because once I learn how to use behavior packs, I kind of want to make this challenge slash special world stuff into a behavior pack. I'm also doing that with a certain thing called Team Survival that I'm working on, which is basically something I made a long time ago when I was a kid. And back when Minecraft Bedrock was just Pocket Edition, where basically all items and XP were basically randomly given to players. I also added some extra features with that, but I wanted to make it better. I wanted to add more. I wanted to add things like lucky blocks of sorts. Of course, I would have to use something else for that, but I can make it work. But I've been struggling on ideas for unique stuff that could be used for lucky blocks, because I don't want to just do the same thing every single lucky block thing does. Like, of course, I'd probably have some stuff that normal lucky blocks would have, but I didn't want it to just be that, Oh, a funny glitch, by the way. That's kind of hard to fix due to issues, because you can't add multiple types, I don't think, at all. So that was laggy. But if you place down, how the hell did I get all the way over there? Anyway, for one, items also get forced away. But if there's falling blocks, they just kind of teleport. One around here. Yeah, that's fine. I don't even want your dirty blocks. But anyway, I'm using an anvil to deal with it. I know it's probably going to act pretty much the same, but let's just find out, just for funsies. What happens when an anvil falls over here? Wait, how the f- get all over that? It like acts like it's still, but then it just appears over here. That's just hilarious. It doesn't do the same thing with sand apparently. It does it different. Let's just check though. Because like it seems like as soon as it gets caught in the thing, it just kind of stops for a second and then continues its fall like nothing happened. And then as soon as it gets to a destination, it finally places itself. At one point I played with the idea of fast falling sand, where like, it would just instantly roll. I kind of want to do that as a randomized thing though, where it basically is randomly normal, or falling, or just teleports randomly. Because I'm a crazy person. sorry for the yelling. You probably can hear it. I don't know what the hell they're yelling about. Anyway, and yeah, it's pretty much that with the falling blocks, but it's weird how it does it, because like with the mobs, you actually see them floating away with blocks. They just kind of teleport somewhere. The reach is not there, apparently. It's very strange. I didn't even know what to do there. It just gets confused. Anyway, so I might as well show you a thing. The thing I'm going to show you is the special mob types. So let me. That's the wrong thing. So. Here's a fun thing. Basically, I have special different mob types of sorts. So we have a normal creeper. Get this. And what I could do if I add this tag, suddenly they become special variants where they'll always chase you no matter what. They can fly, because why not? They can go through walls, and they will never stop chasing you. What's even worse, they'll basically circle around you, like in an interesting way. And you can't exactly just hit them away from you. So your best course of action is kind of similar to how you would with a normal creeper. Hit and run, but of course, with them, it's not as easy to do that. Now, there's two other variants to this. There's a solid variant, which has a weird glitch to it. For some reason. Because, like, the solid one, it still flies, but it's not supposed to be able to just go through walls, right? But here's the weird thing. When it's actually normally on the ground, like actually touching the ground and not just floating, for some reason it has the tendency to just fall for no reason. Like, it will literally just break ground. Or not break ground, but it would like fall into the ground. So I literally had to make it where if it did, it would just break the ground. But that leads to another glitch where sometimes if it's just standing on the ground, it will break it. Which is fine, I guess. But it still can't go through walls, so that's the biggest part of it, I guess. And yes, they are very hard to deal with. Especially if they're a creeper. If they're any other mob, most likely going to be a lot easier to deal with. When of course, if it's a creeper, you're probably just going to get hit by it. So you might as well just run. And then there's the third variation. Which is this. Which essentially has the entire brick thing, except it still goes through walls, but the walls that it does go through, it breaks through instead, which is fun. If you ever do kill one of these things, I hope it was worth it. Anyway, there's another thing to note. There is the lookout variant of mobs. Which is basically, you know how Slender Man in the older games had a thing where he would force you to look at him and you'd have to try to look away? Well, it's basically that, except you can't stop looking away. And it makes you a lot slower. Of course it uses teleports, which I'm going to have to basically turn off command feedback when in this mode, because you'll just see teleport stuff around all the time. But basically it forces you to look at it, which makes it a lot harder to do anything against. And, you know, the fun part, though, is that if there's more than one, it doesn't force you to look at them, because that would basically make it impossible to deal with them. So, if there's more than one, the plan is basically where it will stop you from looking at them. But if you try to run away from them, once you get a certain distance, it will make you look again, forcing you to not be able to really get that far. So, it still works. But there is one extra variant of this, which is basically just when you're forced to look at them, it also gives you the darkness effect. Well, it's supposed to. It's not working, no? What the hell? Let's find out why it's not. Also, I need to probably add a toggle to where you can set it to no mob griefing even with this. So, like, I'd probably have to make it where certain things just don't work. But that's gonna be difficult to deal with. But for now, I'll just leave it like this. Anyway, let's see. Where was it? I need to label these things. Actually, it's... Nope. That's admin stuff. Admin stuff. Okay, here it is. What? How the hell did that happen? Okay. Anyway. Well, that was weird. Anyway. Now I know why it was not working. Anyway, there's one thing I don't like about the darkness effect right now. The darkness effect. Actually, give the thing first. But the darkness effect in the current version doesn't darken like the sky, which it does do in the preview version of Minecraft, which is interesting. I also figured out that the preview version of Anyway, the preview version of Minecraft has a different lighting to this version. I don't know if they use a different rendering system, but it's weird. I know that this uses Render Dragon. I don't know if the preview version also uses Render Dragon or not. Oh, sorry. Anyway. There's a bunch of other stuff planned for this. Because right now I have the plan of having those different attributes randomly. Like, have mobs randomly spawn with them. But one scary thing I have planned, which I know everyone's probably gonna hate, but I'm gonna love the reactions of, is basically I plan to make it where wardens can spawn on the surface naturally. And how I do that is I'm basically just gonna have it where any mob that spawns has a random chance to be instead spawned as a warden. At least at night. Which I'm probably going to have on the more common side, surprisingly. And why? Because I want to make this more of a horror experience, as I said. So what I'm doing is I'm basically gonna make it where Minecraft basically becomes an entire stealth game almost all at night. Where you can't do a lot of crazy stuff like you used to. I want to make this scary. So stealth is one of the scary things. You know? So, yeah. That's gonna be fun to deal with. But what's gonna be painful for me to deal with is I have to deal with setting up all the different variables. What I can show you here is right here is going to be the start of how I basically automate all the different randomized variables, which I haven't really started with yet. But here is where the actual variables are. So like, okay. So dog. Anyway, so all of these are different variables for like what the mob may become. So like First, there's this, which basically says, oh, is it this? And if it is, then it uses this variable to decide what type it is. And then same with this. If it is, what is it? And that's going to be painful because I have to set this up every single time. And I have to do multiple things, because first I have to do this. So say I have to check for if a mob spawns, then I have to basically say, oh, if it spawned, what is this? Is it a look at? Is it a no escape? Oh, and those can be combined, by the way, so that will be fun, won't it? And then I have to say, is it a no escape? Then, if it is it also look at? If it is, what type is it? What type is it? Or both things. And then I have to tell the world that it has spawned in. Because here's the thing. If I don't tell it that it's spawned, which I have to use with the tagging system, which will give it the spawn tag as soon as it's done with all that stuff, it's going to keep randomizing. And the thing is, sooner or later, it's just going to turn that mob into all types. Because yes, it can have multiple things. Not that that really matters that much. But basically, you'll always have things just flying at you and breaking everything. Speaking of which, I also have to program a thing where wardens don't have that, because I don't want wardens to be flying at you. They are literally already the most dangerous mob in existence, and basically already pretty much one-shot you, even with full armor. So, I don't want that to be a no escape, because it's just gonna be dreadful. But, outside of that, I do want wardens to be a common enemy now. At least in this world, and when I can make it into a behavior pack. But, yeah, this is going to be a painful process just to do that. But I also have another idea, which is basically to have a special enemy that will stalk you, similar to a no escape, but it will have a more dark presence. And I want it to be basically a thing that when it's close, it gives you the darkness effect, right? But if it gets too close, it then gives you the blindness effect. And if it gets within a certain radius of you, it will start actually shaking your screen. Which, yes, is possible in Bedrock. There's a reason why I'm doing this all in Bedrock and not in Java. While Java can be better in certain things, it's not always the best in everything. Plus, Bedrock is just more accessible to everyone. And also, stuff. For some reason, they programmed something specifically for shaking the camera. And there's two different types. But yeah. There's that. And this. Honestly, they could have done a better thing when it comes to camera shake. Because, like, it looks awkward as hell. But if I find the right thing, I'll probably be able to make it work really well. And basically, what I have planned is the camera shaking will get crazier the closer it is. So if it's 5 blocks away, it will start shaking slightly, and then become more if it gets closer. Cause insanity. I already torture. Jesus Christ. I already torture myself. I don't think that's gonna change anything. Anyway, considering how limited Bedrock commands are, which is kind of the reason why I like it, because in a way, when you have these limited options, it allows me to be more creative with how I use them. And also, it allows me to take every process of every command that I'm doing in pieces. Because a lot of people, when they use Java, like, make these gigantic ass commands that, like, while I could read them and find a way to understand them, because I have that weird ability to just read what code is, I'm not going to be the one to create that. I am not that good. Anyway. I'm hoping to find a way to create an epic experience with all of this. Because it's going to be a while. So, do you have any ideas of how I can make this even scarier? Because if you do, I'd like to hear them. It could make this experience way better. And while you're thinking of that, one other thing I should tell you about is I'm also planning to add liminal spaces. But I'm not sure exactly how to take it. So I have multiple ideas with this. So, like, I had the idea of randomly spawning you in a liminal space at a random time, because I have a plan for, like, random events and also sequenced events. The sequence events will take time as you play throughout the entire experience, and it would be something that's guaranteed to happen. But random events will be something that just can happen, which I plan to have a timer that once it runs out, it calls an event. And it has random times for what it sets. Jesus. Anyway, it has random set times, and once it gets 0, it chooses a random event, which is another variable to deal with. And since I want the events to be a lot different, and not just the same things happening a lot, I have to add a lot, which is a lot to look forward to. And thankfully, with Bedrock, it has a literal command for spawning structures, so that's fun. But also, there's a lot of stuff that has to go into this. So, with liminal spaces, I basically had a few ideas when it comes to actually putting it in them. For one, I basically was going to have it where it spawns a giant structure in the sky where it would teleport you to. But that would probably make it too obvious for others near you. So, although I kind of have an idea of making it a single player experience, it probably would be weird to exclude allowing multiplayer. So, well, I could do that. I also thought of doing it underground and having it spawn underground, but the problem with that is, like, I don't want it to overwrite too much stuff in the world. You know what I mean? My aunt is going crazy. Anyway, I want to basically make it where it works in a way that doesn't disrupt too much of the world. Also, it does not, like, you know, mess up too much. But no, I can't spawn it in the void, unfortunately. I wish I could. But, another thing is I do plan to have randomly spawning structures, which again uses the mob tactic of a random mob can possibly become a structure instead of rewarding. Because unless I figured out behavior packs, I would not be able to do that. Do you have any questions? No questions. Okie dokie. Then, for now, I think it's time for me to cease. Probably tomorrow, I'll be able to start actually streaming some progress on this. But until then, I'll just be existing. I'll probably be streaming literally all day tomorrow. So that would be fun. Hopefully you enjoyed this very weird experience. I don't know why I'm streaming this, but I thought it would be fun, I guess. We shall see. Stay tuned, I guess, for what's coming. Because soon, it might become something special. Anyway, goodbye.